Hi, so a few of you have asked me a little bit about the number bond thing on the daily word problems and math problems sheet for calendar time and stuff. And so I wanted to do a quick video about number bonds today, so to help you guys out. All right, so the kids have done these for most of the year, so they should be a little familiar with it. They just few might have a little trouble remembering because I turned it a different way, and that's really important. I did that on purpose to see if they understood the real thing or just understood it one way. So the kids are used to seeing it like this. I'm just going to take the lids off right now. And I'm going to use colors to help you see where they're moving to, where the different parts, okay? So they're used to seeing a number bond chart that looks like this, where you have one circle on the top and two on the bottom. And that's really easy for them to realize that this is the whole thing, or the total. We can use the word total, okay? We call it the whole or the total. And these down here are parts. This is part 1 and this is part 2. Those are the different parts, okay? And you can tell that this is the whole because the two parts lines are going into that. This is the only circle that two lines go into. If you look, kids, you notice the other circles only have one line going into it. So what surprised me, which was great for me to find out, is that when I turned it sideways on the kids, like this on just to fit in space on the math sheet, they got confused on which one is the whole. So it's really important that I go over again. The reason the blue one in this picture is the whole is because the two-part lines, they both go into this one. So again, look at the circle, and the circle where there's two lines going in, that's the whole one. These circles, if you notice, they only have one line touching them. Don't draw extra lines. Some of you drew extra lines. No, we don't make a triangle out of it. It's a chart. So this is the whole. And then again, these are the parts. Part 1, part 2. They're the exact same thing. The only thing I did, kids, was turn it on the side. So if you don't have the colors on your chart, you're like, how do I figure that out on my own? You look at the lines, guys. What does a whole mean? It means if you take these two things and you bring them together, you make this. Imagine it like houses. This is my house. This is Maven's house. I have 4 people in my house, Maven has 4 people in her house. If her 4 people came to the swimming pool, and my 4 people came to the swimming pool, then we'd have 8 people in the swimming pool. We'd have 4 in each house, but 8 people. This is the whole thing together when you put two parts together. All right, so let's try some down here. Are you ready? Let's try some. So I'm gonna use my markers. I'm gonna use the color code for right now to help. I'm gonna do it on the side like we've been doing in morning math. Oops, sorry, I'm kind of falling all over the place here. I'm gonna go ahead and draw a couple of them. So we're ready to try a couple different ones. And then I'm gonna try one more down here the other way. So we realize it's not the way it's turned, guys. It's what the lines are doing, what the lines are doing. You have to look at the lines, okay? So these two lines go into the hole, the two parts go into the hole, the two parts go into the hole, and even though we're turned this way, the two parts go in the hole. We know the blue one is the hole because the two lines are going into it because we're putting those parts together to make the whole thing. All right, so if we take our numbers, let's say we had 3 here and we have 1 here, all it's asking you to do is say, okay, if you have 3, 1, 2, 3, and you have 1, 1, how many would it be if you brought them together? So do that. Bring the 3, bring the 1, and then how many is it all together? 4. See, this 3 with that 1 made 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 all together. Now what if they do it the other way, like in the number of the day thing like we've been doing, and they give you the number 5, and they ask you to put it into parts? Well, just draw it. Okay, I have 5. Did I make 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's very important to always double check your work. And then say, okay, I need some of them to be red, some of them to be gray. So I'm gonna make this one red and this one red. And then I'm gonna make this one gray and this one gray. And then write what you did. You had 2 red ones, so that's the one part. And you had 3 gray ones, so that's the other part. You can use these number bonds to make equations. For instance, 5 equals 2 and a 3 plus 3. 5 equals the 2 plus 3. Or you can do it the other way and say, if I have 5 and I take away this 3, what would be left, guys? If I had this 5 and I took away the 3, there would be 2 left. We use these number bonds later to make equations and things like that. We're learning ways to split the number into parts so we can do addition in our head and subtraction in our head. So let's try some more down here. Let's do it again. Let's start with a number. Let's do a bigger number like 15. So let's say I had 15. You could do the picture, or in this case, you could use the digits to help you. Okay, well, what do I know this one means? Well, it's in the tens place, because remember there's 2 places. This is the tens place, and this is the ones place. There's 2 digits in this number. This 1 right here doesn't mean 1. What does it mean? Yeah, it means 1 set of 10. Come on, everybody, let's get this done. Numbers in the teens, they start with a 1. Come on, everybody, let's say it again. Numbers in the teens have a set of 10. That 1 doesn't mean 1, it means 1, 10. So you can put 10 there. And then what's the other digit mean? Yeah, it's in the ones place, so it actually means 5 ones, which is 5. Which is 5. So 15 could be a 10 and a 5. Is that the only way you can make 15? No, that's not. You could do 15 another way. So here's 15, it's in the hole. We know this is the hole again, no matter which way it's turned, because the 2 lines are coming to it. And then we can just draw until we get to 15. So I'm going to draw some over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to stop. So I stopped at 8. That was the last number I counted. Now start with the other marker. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This time I stopped at 15 because that's the total. When you get to your second circle, you have to stop at what you're trying to get to. I started at 9 because I left off at 8 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I double checked that I have 15 circles together. Now all you have to say, well, how many was in this one? 8. How many's in this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. So what are the 2 parts that make 15? 8 and 7. What are some equations we can write? Well, we could do the parts together. So 8 and 7 are my parts. Oops, I should have done that on grade. I apologize. 7 are my parts. Or 7 and 8. Remember flipping the add-ins, guys? And then what do? We put plus to join the 2 parts together. And what does it equal? Our whole. So those 2 addition problems you can do for it. And then you can also take it and do subtraction and say, okay, I start with my whole, because remember, when you subtract, you start with the whole. When you subtract, you start with the whole. Take a part away. What is left? The other part. So we start with the whole. We take a part away. So let's take that 7 away. What's the other part left? 8. Let's do it the other way. Start with the whole. The whole thing is 15. Take a part away. This time we're going to take the other part away. Take away the 8. What's left? The other part. So you can make equations that go with your number bond too. That's just a little bit about number bonds and how it helps us decompose, take a whole and split it into parts, and compose, take 2 parts and make it a whole. And how it helps us write different equations in a fact family, because you're going to be doing fact families next week. And this is what a fact family is, where you take the 2 parts and you add them together and by flipping the add-in. So it's 8 plus 7 first, then 7 plus 8. All you're doing here is just flipping the order you put them in. And then also making subtraction sentences by starting with the whole, taking 1 part away, getting the other part. Starting with the whole, taking the other part away, getting the other part. We'll be doing some of that next week too. Hope this video is helpful for you. I love you guys and miss you like crazy. Bye.